Jukebox, KLOS. That was Roxy Music. Editions of You with Jay Giles Band. Give It Up from the album Blood Fart. Blood Sport. What was it called? Bloodstone. Is it? Bloodshot. I don't know. Blood Fart. But you know, there's a band.
Blood Fart with an H.
There was a. We were talking about this yesterday. There was actually a band from Belgium, and I guess it was in the 80s, and they called themselves that.
Well, that's because fart is
that
out.
Belgium?
Like when the English band driving across Germany along the freeway, and you see Ausfahrt, and the English musicians giggling in the bus because Ausfahrt. Every town seems to be called Ausfahrt. It means exit.
Oh, that's what it means?
It means exit on the freeway.
Fart exit.
Yeah, so the English bands are well happy driving on German freeways.
Blood exit. Okay. I'm getting there. All starting to make sense. Stewart Copeland is my guest.
Nice to be here. You got fancy digs now. Last time I saw you, you were in like an actual radio station, but now look at you here. This is like a much plusher digs.
I've made it.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, about time.
Well, I saw you not so long ago, though. Over at...
Yeah, should we drop some names?
Well, we don't have to.
Well, never mind.
It's true.
But you roared past on your motorcycle as Perry Farrell was being, his wife Eddie was being handed into the, now Mrs. Farrell had a cast from her hip to her toe on one leg and 6-inch stiletto heels on her other foot. Mm-hmm. And out at the valet parking at this fancy schmancy party where the likes of, what were we doing there? I don't know. And they were, his car comes up, which is like a Flagiolini or a Lamborghini or something like that. The roof is like 3 feet off the ground. And all the valet parking guys had to get Mrs. Farrell, kind of load her into the car sideways because she had this giant cast on her foot.
What party was that?
That was Bono's party after the U2 gig.
I wasn't there.
You were there. You roared past on your motorcycle going,
oh, at the gig. At
yeah.
the gig. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were great that night. Did you watch them?
I did. I you know, I always enjoy their shows. They always got a heck of a show.
I watched from the first note to the last note. I really enjoyed it. I thought they were great that night.
That's a bit
Sunday
much.
night.
Well, that's a real rock fan. I can't take more than 3 songs of
No,
any
I know.
band.
I normally don't even go.
Yeah.
You know, but for some reason the sound was great. You know, it was good. It was entertaining. I liked the film.
Thing is monstrous. Yeah.
Yeah.
The huge backdrop, which is like from one part of the stadium all the way across. That thing must be half a mile long, just the screen.
Yeah.
And they put some big images on there, and it's going to rock.
Yeah. I think that was like that was like the third show or something of that tour or something.
I don't know.
And I said to Bono, I said he was great that night, and he did the typical musician thing. Well,
no, they were grumpy.
We're a bit rusty.
Yeah, they were grumpy for some reason. Everyone was loving it, but typical band thing. Well, we were better last night in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's always the way. You know, you kick ass in Denver. You kick ass in Vegas. You kick ass in Granite City. You get to New York City or Los Angeles where all your mates are.
Yeah.
It's not as good as it was last night.
I think fans appreciate it more when you're not in the big cities.
Could be. Also, to go visit your mates in the band, it's much better to go visit them in Denver because backstage you're the only people there. You get to hang out. But when you go visit your buddies in Los Angeles, it is a bun fight backstage. Everybody's there.
A lot more bigger shots than you there.
Exactly. I hate that.
You feel like a loser.
Really.
And they're getting all the attention off the band. You're just around the sideline.
Yeah, well, you go see them in Denver, and you're backstage. You got them all to yourself.
Yeah. Do you miss the big life of rock? With the Police?
Yes, and I miss the excitement of playing a gigantic show. I mean, there's a drama about that. You sort of feel good about yourself to be doing something that seems important. There's a lot of people who seem to take it seriously. But the band thing, when you belong to a band, you kind of outgrow that, where you want to decide, listen, I'm going to take a left, and you can. But when you're on a giant tour like that, no, you belong to the tour. And I'm going to go get a newspaper. No, you sit here, we'll get you a newspaper.
Yeah.
And so you have to assume the position of a stuffed pillow.
Yeah. But that you guys never talk about getting back together, do you?
No.
No. What?
No, others will talk about it for us.
For you, yeah. I'm sure you can make a bunch of dough.
Yeah, there's that.
That would come out of left field if the police got back together.
Well, we did that about 10 years ago. We hoovered up everything. And it was actually really a good thing to do because we kind of parted screaming at each other. And when we got back together again 20 years later, we kind of realized what we got in common and what we don't have in common, and not to get upset about what we don't have in common, and appreciate what we do.
Yeah, bands are funny, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a strange, a collaborative artistic experience is a minefield.
Yeah. Because sometimes you hate each other and you don't even know why you hate each other.
Well, because he told you your guitar part was crap. And he thought he was just, saying something useful, but you kind of liked that guitar part. You didn't think it was crap. In fact, you kind of liked that. And so, a collaborative, when you're trying to make something together, you have an opinion on what the drummer's doing and what the bass player's doing, and you got to somehow break it to the guy that that's not working, and it's not always easy.
So do you think in a perfect world, everyone should be left alone to do what they think is the best for a song, or do you think there should be a leader saying, that's a bit naff?
Depends on the band. In a three-piece band where everybody's on the same page, it works, The strange thing is when we were a three-piece band with everybody on the same page, we were different musicians, and we didn't find out about that until years later when we discovered who we really are, which you only do when you are out of the band. You find out who you personally actually are. So it's good and bad, and I think actually let's come down in favor of let's have a band leader.
Yeah.
And band leadership is all about who's got the best idea first.
Yeah.
And I got a riff. Everybody likes it. Wow, let's do that. I'm the band leader for that instant.
Yeah.
Until somebody else has a good idea.
It takes a turn once you have some success, because before you're known, everything's kind of acceptable a bit more. Because there's no, there ain't that, well, we had a hit record and I wrote that song. So.
Which means I am the god of music.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're codependent and you got nothing, then it's all love. As soon as there's something to fight over.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but there is a vibe of being with your mates in a team. On a team, you're the squad. You're the it's kind of a empowerment that you do get from. Mind you, have you got brothers and sisters?
No.
You're an only child.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably hated being in a band. But for me, as a youngest kid, that's just I'm happiest when I'm with my crew.
Yeah, I didn't like rehearsing or I didn't really like being in a band.
Well, what did you like? Did you like the noise that you made, the chicks, the money?
Well, there was no money with us.
Yeah, because you had Malcolm.
We got robbed royally. I mean, the attention was good, you know, especially after that we did the Bill Grundy show.
Oh man, you could walk into anywhere. And everyone takes notice.
Yeah, that was good for a little bit. The Birds, that was fun.
Yeah,
didn't even have to talk.
That's right. And well, most musicians, forgive me, guitarists especially, aren't real good at the talking part. The classic guitarist thing. So, that's enough of me talking about myself. What did you think of my guitar solo?
Yeah.
I could get into a guitarist riff here.
Go on, good, do it, please.
Like, what do you throw a drowning guitarist?
What?
His amp. And when I first heard the word Asperger's syndrome,
Asperger's, yeah. It should be a burger stand. Asperger's.
No, you would think, but actually, what it really means is guitarist.
Well, I don't even know what Asperger's is. Is it no attention?
It's high attention autism, and I do believe actually that most musicians, their gift is a certain level of autism because you can't get that good unless you're able to handle that repetitive thing. So I think that for musicians, that what some might regard as an affliction can actually be a substantial part of your gift.
Yeah, because I had no attention at school, and I'll tell you what helped me. I got kind of slung up onto guitar. I was a singer at first, and what really helped me was this doctor down Harley Street. He used to do these pills called Black Beauties with some Mandrax.
Mandrax?
Yeah.
God, I remember,
you remember
that in
them?
the mists of time.
Oh man, they were great.
An English version of Quaaludes.
Exactly.
Oh my God! Since when were you down on Harley Street? That's fancy.
Well, it was a quack doctor down there who
Right.
actually got arrested years later. Everyone used to go and see him for 20 quid.
And you can get
you see this guy, you get 30 Mandrakes and 30 Black Beauties. But the Black Beauties, what gave me the attention.
Right.
You know, they were like speed, I guess.
Yeah.
Some form of
Sort of
speed.
like early form of Ritalin or something.
Little black capsules, they were. And that's, if I didn't have them, I don't think I'd be playing guitar. Because that day, you know, speed, I don't know if you've ever done speed.
Well, it gives you that enthusiasm. So any crap chord you play sounds like God.
You're playing, well, not only that, you're playing the same chord for about 20 hours.
Yeah, and you get real good at it.
You know, I could barely play before that. I mean, I couldn't play that great after the speed, but it was definitely gave me the attention.
Yeah.
I have that. I guess I'm an Asperger.
Yeah. Bit ketchup for the lad.
Huh? Remember Wimpy?
Wimpy burgers, yeah, one tiny wafer thin little slab of meat in between two buns, and that was the English version of a burger. In fact, England, I don't know how they conquered the world, had the mightiest empire that the world has ever seen. On the slimmest, crappest hamburgers you ever saw, finally, the Americans arrived on the shores of Great Britain with the Great American Disaster.
Yeah.
Which is a hamburger joint on the King's Road, where they
Right.
did a hamburger that Americans, hardly worth commenting on.
Yeah.
But in those days in London town, just a regular burger with a bit of meat between the buns was lines around the block.
Yeah. Well, you lived in England. The guy would be crying he couldn't get a bit of cheese thin enough to give you a
right.
cheese sandwich. You know,
Yeah.
watered down ketchup.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
Wimpy was the chain. And a golden egg.
Yeah.
Well, and the reason why we're riffing on that is because that's where the bands eat.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in Scunthorpe or you're in Blackpool or Brighton or Birmingham or Bermondsey or wherever the hell you've got a show, you can go to a Wimpy and you will find a piece of cardboard between two other pieces of cardboard,
Yeah.
bit of ketchup, and you're a happy guy.
Isn't it amazing what you used to eat when you was a kid? The food in England back then was so bad.
It's really good now.
Well, some places.
No, England, I don't know when the last time you were there, but London has got some of the best cuisine in the world. But when we were lads,
Yeah.
going up and down the M6, it was miserable.
There was no such thing as like salads or
No.
anything. You know, there was
Vegetarians were starved.
no greens. It was
Yeah.
all like just space food. Bizarre. What you doing here? You got something tomorrow, right? You got
Yes. Unexpectedly, I actually these days now you've got a real job as a DJ, and I got my day job is writing fancy music. In this case, an opera.
Yeah.
And they're putting it on down the Long Beach Opera is putting it on, and tomorrow we're doing kind of a fundraiser promo deal related to that, and I'm actually gonna get this, sing some of it.
Is that good or bad?
Come on down and you'll find out.
Long Beach? I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I wrote it, so I know it, but I'm not sure that I can actually hit the notes. There's going to be some actual opera singers singing the fancy stuff, but I'm sort of reading some of the parts and getting them through it, a little conducting maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm not known as a singer.
Not like Dave Clark.
No. Was he known? Well, yeah, I guess he
He
was.
was. Well,
He
no,
played drums?
him and the other bloke on the keyboard. What was his
apparently
name?
he didn't even play the drums.
I could see that.
Yeah.
You know what I loved about him? He had the stool so high to look like he's kind of standing. He's not behind a drum kit.
Oh, really? He was a little guy. He was standing out.
No. It made it look like he wasn't in the back.
Oh, made him look taller.
He
Yeah.
had a stool like that, so it looked like he was kind of standing up.
Well, that's the drummer's problem. You see, we're like the goalie. We're always looking
I
at the
know.
back of everyone else's heads. In fact, in some bands, that's the best part. The back of their head's better than the front every time.
Yeah.
But in those old television shows, the drummer's on this impossibly high riser, 12 feet up.
Yeah.
And any idea of like a groove going,
Yeah.
forget it. Well, they're all miming anyway, so who cares?
A lot of them, yeah. I think he turned out to be a real estate guy, Dave Clark. He used to lived in L.A.
So many people in Hollywood.
Well, record company dudes. They're all bleeding real estate.
Well,
agents
most of them
now.
were drummers. The record company guys are all ex-drummers. That's my experience. I don't know. Maybe you're a guitarist, and they say, "Oh yeah, Jonesy, yeah, I used to be a guitarist."
Yeah.
They're all now working at the record companies. But in Hollywood, a lot of the writers actually earn their living in real estate and flipping houses.
Yeah.
And so that's what Dave Clark's doing now.
Well,
A lot of your listeners here in Los Angeles probably wonder who the heck we're talking about.
well, no, Dave Clark
5.
Dave Clark 5 was bigger than the Beatles at one point in America.
Really?
They sold more records than the Beatles
Really?
for a while, yeah.
Huh. But they were British, so it wasn't the Wrecking Crew.
No.
Because not many people in America realize that a lot of the bands, Sonny and Cher, the Beach Boys, the Monkees, were all the same band. The Monkees actually were the Beach Boys, and the Beach Boys actually were Frank Sinatra's band too, by the way. And the Wrecking Crew, they were called. They're the same session guys.
The ones that got the documentary out.
That's right.
Yeah, it's good.
And nowadays, when you know that and you listen to one of those, or the Byrds, you listen to the Byrds,
Sound similar,
and you
playing.
realize that is the same band as the Monkees.
Yeah.
The drums sound is the same. The Carol Kay on bass, that's the same vibe.
Yeah.
That's kind of a mind-boggling concept, that all those bands, as disparate as the Monkees and the Byrds, were actually the same band.
I guess it was acceptable back then, right?
Well, nobody knew.
Do you think they got the though? Like the original drummer or the guitar player?
Oh, you mean Hal Blaine and Carol Kay? No, they got paid. They did every session. They were working every day. They got to tell their friends, "Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me."
I mean the actual band.
Oh, the Monkees.
Faces, not the ones who played on it, but the faces. Do you think they got the that they couldn't play on the records?
I've heard it directly from Monkees.
Yeah.
Micky Dolenz.
He came on here.
Yeah. He might have told you that they actually were musicians.
Yeah.
And they ended up making an album that they played them god darn selves.
Yeah.
Tank disappeared without a trace. And because Hal Blaine's a better drummer than Mickey. I love Mickey. Great guy, great comedian, by the way.
Is he?
Oh man, you have him over for dinner and you will not stop laughing.
Micky Dolenz.
Micky Dolenz, yeah.
He came on here. We had a good time in the green room. He came on here and he went into this other character and it was not good.
Oh, too bad. Well, he came over for dinner and there was a bunch of people there and he tells one of his unbelievable stories. Finally the laughing stops. Everyone's gasping for breath and somebody tries to pick up the ball and it's just not as good.
Yeah,
and pretty
yeah.
soon, okay, Mickey, let's have another one. Pretty soon he's just dominating and it's all fine. And then you realize it's material.
Yeah.
From his show.
Yeah. Well, he was on a bad day when he came on here because I didn't think it was funny at all.
Oh, too bad.
Other than that,
You have to have him run for dinner.
No, it's okay. I'm good.
Well, my missus, she was dead chuffed, have a monkey in the house.
Oh,
Are you
of
kidding?
course.
Yeah.
Everyone should have a monkey in the house.
Yeah.
Should we play some music?
Sure. What do you got? You got some monkeys?
We got some.
Let's play some Monkees and Byrds and all these bands that were all the same band.
What are we going to play?
I have Don't Box Me In.
All right, that's not the same band. That's all me.
That's you.
No, instead of it being that's one guy.
This is you from the Rumblefish soundtrack.
Yeah, with Stan Ridgway on vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's play that then. Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS, with my guest Stewart Copeland. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS. That was Lou Reed, Ride Sally Ride. Then we had Amon Duel, Lost in Space. Then we had Stewart Copeland, Don't Box Me In, from Rumblefish soundtrack with Stan Ridgway.
That Amon Duel, is that with like an umlaut?
It's like a kind of a...
Yeah, weird. Yeah, Amon Duel. I always saw their pictures. They had a lot of hair and spikes.
I think they were like German or something.
Yeah, they were German or something, and you knew that was going to be some heavy metal.
But they weren't really heavy metal. It was kind of glammy.
Well, that's why I was surprised when you said that was Amon Duel.
Yeah.
God, I would have thought they'd be heavier than that.
No. They was going to call themselves Bloodfart, but they went with Amon Duel.
Yeah, and what was the other one, that band you showed me?
Don't say that word.
Oh, you can't? That's a word you can't say?
Well, not really.
All
not
right.
the first part.
All right, okay, all right.
Number 2 Wind, that's what I call them.
Number 2 Wind.
Yeah.
Only in Germany.
Actually had a deal with Arista.
Yeah, a deal too. That's the amazing. Well, the guy who brought that, he comes back to the head office and says, I saw this great band. They were called Number 2 Wind.
Yeah.
Big bits, wind.
I can't believe that a record company would think that was a good name.
Well, can you get away with saying the name in German?
Do you know what it is in German? Number 2?
Shall we attempt it here? You got a bleeper ready? Scheißenwind!
Hausen!
Scheißenwind! I don't know what wind would be. Wind in Germany, we can make a vent. Scheißenwind!
So...
Glad we got that sorted out.
Yeah.
I'm sure your listeners
now
are
we know,
well pleased to have that figured out.
Now we know why they got a deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot kinder word. Scheisen.
Yeah.
Very kind word. Oh, you're going to get me fired.
Well, I was on British TV the other day, the show called Grand Tour.
What's that?
And it used to be called Grand Prix.
The
Top
car
Gear.
The car thing.
Car thing, yeah. And I was on there with Nick Mason, the Pink Floyd guy, you know. And the guy
the American version, you mean?
No, English. The same guy, Jeremy Clark or what?
There was 3 of them. There was 3
There's
dudes.
3 guys. One, the boss man, and then he
got the
abuses his
boot.
2. But he got the boot. They all went with him.
You're right.
They took the whole show with him, and they got a show now. And you know they get 2 celebs to race around the track. And actually, Nick Mason is a bit of a racer. He doesn't even know how many Lamborghinis he's got. That's how fancy the Pink Floyd are. And he's really good at it. And I was the second slowest guy ever.
Oh, no.
Oh, kidding me? Yeah, suck it. Number 2, baby. Yeah, man. You know, I drive like Mr. Magoo, you know.
You're not a natural.
No. But the guy running that show,
big guy.
Yeah, the big guy. He can say any darn thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, what channel is it on? BBC?
Amazon.
Oh,
it's in fact, my bit is on Friday night. So I'll be on there with my new buddy Nick.
We can watch you going 2 miles an hour.
Let me have a quick word with your Floyd fan listeners.
Yeah.
You know that bit in one of the Pink Floyd albums where he goes bugga digga 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 bum bum dug digga digga bugga digga dum bum forever.
Yeah, what song is that?
Gumma, one of the first, Saucer Full of Secrets, way back there. Your listeners will probably, because anybody listening to you is going to be into that stuff, right?
Yeah, go on.
Turns out that was actually a tape loop, and I've always wondered about that. And I said, Mr. Mason, can you tell me, did you play that for an hour? And he said, no, it was a tape loop. But I had to do it on stage live. So it's kind of both answers are true. He actually had to play that forever on stage. But the record is a loop, and which there's 2 disappointments there. One was that he didn't play it. The other was that I thought I had invented the tape loop in 1984 doing Rumblefish, where I had actually physically magnetic tape going around the room in a loop, a physical loop.
Yeah.
Joined it when you cut that thing and you have it go round and round and round, and it's a loop. But as usual, Pink Floyd got there first. About 10 years previously, they'd already thought of that.
Was you a fan of Pink Floyd?
Not so much.
Who was you into, like, you know?
Hendrix.
That was your thing?
Cream and Hendrix.
Yeah.
And in between Cream and Hendrix albums was a void. You know, Beatles and Stones, sure, of course. But
so did you like Ginger Baker? Did you think his drumming was
totally.
It was unique, his drumming.
He was unique, and Mitch Mitchell, between the 2 of them, they were incredible. And the problem with Hendrix is I could never get my fantasy straight. Do I want to fantasize that I'm the guitarist or the drummer?
Yeah.
Is there any way I can do both?
Yeah.
And nowadays, of course, years later, I was in the studio and I played guitar and drums.
Yeah.
That was cool. But when you're 16 and you're listening and you just, you know, it was tough to choose between the drums and the guitar. They were both awesome.
Mitch Mitchell, I always found that on record, it sounded big. But you watch him, he'd play with the, what you call that?
Yeah, orthodox grip.
Yeah, is that what that word is? You're not really
well, he had a very light jazzy touch.
Yeah.
And you're right. When you see him play, it doesn't look like much, but man, recorded, and actually, because I can see what he's doing, and he was kind of a short glass of water as a person. You can tell that. But man, he was good at those drums.
Yeah. He used to drink up the Cat and Fiddle.
Yeah, a bit too much.
Yeah.
And I saw him in later years, and it was gone.
I know. Sweet guy though, but
he's one of the greats I never met. I would have embarrassed myself.
Yeah.
Ginger. I know Ginger. We've hung on the side of a polo field.
He loves the I went to Hawaii.
Yeah, that's where I saw him too.
And
I played with him.
Yeah, that's what I went there for. Some woman said, "Go to Hawaii." I couldn't ride an horse. I'm terrified, but I thought I'd go. And then we had a little jam afterwards.
Yeah. Well, he's not that good at riding the horse, but he could hit the ball. God, if he connects, if he can get his horse anywhere near the ball and he connects, that sucker, he's going to fly. Of course, he the rules of traffic, he's all over everywhere.
Yeah.
He calls me Copeland, young man. And, Mr. Baker can call me any damn thing he wants.
Yeah. Did you see the documentary?
I'm in it.
Oh, that's right.
But the director who brought it over to show me, he still had the scar on his face, which is a badge of honor.
The kid who was
the guy, the director who made the movie
at the beginning, when the movie started, and he's in the car, and that's when he whacks him.
Whacks him with his cane. And he left a mark. The guy had stitches.
You know what? You know what's really bizarre? And this is completely honest. When I first saw that documentary, I didn't know it was a documentary about Ginger Baker. And I thought it was the guy from Stretch.
Jeez.
Remember the gangster movie?
Yeah, kind of.
What was his name? The one who he described killing the pigs and chopping them up and all that. Bricktop.
All right.
Bricktop. That's who I thought it was. It was the weirdest thing. And I realised, oh man, this is a documentary. And that's Ginger Baker.
He's not a pleasant man.
He's got a lot of anger issues.
He does have anger issues, and you can have a laugh, sure, but he's an angry. Last time I saw him, I think I've got one of the last recordings of him. He came over to my gaff in Brentwood, and I got him on the drums, and we were back. I got 1 minute, and he's on the drums, and I go back there. I'm playing this percussion thing, and I'm thinking, what? I couldn't figure out what he was doing, and then I look because I record everything in my place.
Yeah.
And he was playing in threes. I thought it was fours, but he's been in Africa, and you could write a college thesis on the polyrhythms that Mr. Baker was doing right there. And I got 1 minute, and I put it up on YouTube. Check it out, Ginger Baker at the Sacred Grove.
Yeah.
And 20 minutes later, the paramedics were in there strapping him up.
Oh no!
And they wanted to take him to the hospital, and he, They said, we got to put you in the ambulance. We need to get you to a hospital. And they're going, bugger off!
Yeah.
And he played a show that night.
Wow. I was lucky. The experience I had with him, we were just having a good time. He took a liking to me as opposed to
and there's
hating me.
Throwing something, yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. What are we doing? Oh, play some Cream.
There you go. There's some ginger. We're talking about ginger. Let's hear some ginger.
Okay, Stewart Copeland, White Room. Take another fine German word, right?
Yeah.
Ludwig.
Well, Ludwig invented the bass drum pedal.
Did he?
Yeah, in the early 1920s. I'm writing a show about drums for the BBC, which meant that I had to learn something about them. And it turns out, much as I like to snigger at jazz, and the way you can enliven any dinner party is by dumping on jazz. Well, it turns out that jazz is the mother of everything.
Yeah. Well, let's hold that thought. We've got to visit a Duke. When we come back, we'll talk more about drums and things.
Visit the Duke. Is that some kind of Cockney rhyming slang?
Yes, sir. The Duke of Kent. We're going to pay the rent.
All right.
Take it away. This Jukebox. KLOS. That was Jeff Beck's Bolero.
Yeah, the mic came on just as you were making a confession.
Well, you got me started.
Yeah, what, folks, I'm going to complete that confession right here in front of everybody. Jonesy, ex-Sex Pistol, is a vegetarian.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
How do you like them
how the wheel has turned?
How do you like them apples?
Yeah, really. Yeah. How do you like them burgers?
Yeah. There is a place called. We was also talking about arse burgers again.
Yeah, kind of fixated here.
A good name would be you got Fat Burger, right?
Yeah, which apparently is a superior form of burger.
So you could go one further, Fat Arse Burgers.
Yeah. What are you doing here, like on some radio show, man? You should be out there conquering the culinary world.
Do you watch what you eat?
Yeah, kind of. You gotta, eventually when you get to 60-something.
Yeah.
You gotta, you don't get it for free anymore.
Yeah.
I look at my 30-something-year-old sons who are just, not paying any attention
Eating anything,
at all, just doing it, and the stuff they don't have to bother with doing, I got to do. If I go a
Yeah.
couple days without doing my stretches, I start to crank. I start to get you got to actually maintain it. We're not supposed to live this long. We're supposed to. Our bones and teeth are only designed to last like 40 years, and
Really?
I intend to be 100.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah,
Asperger's, man.
yeah, that's right. That's how we're going to do it.
Oh, so let's give you a plug again.
Yeah, yeah.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, bit of me talking, telling war stories, and it's down in Long Beach at the convention center. There, what's the theater? It's the. You don't need to whisper.
Yeah.
It's the Terrace Theater. There you go, Terrace Theater tomorrow, 6:00. They're actually going to show my movie, my police touring movie, which I shot back in the day. First bit of money in my pocket, I got a movie camera and I shot everything. Our first mob scene, everything like that, and cut it into a movie.
That was released a while ago, though.
Yeah, well, I went to Sundance. It was kind of a cool thing. Anyhow, they're going to show that, and then afterwards, I'll be telling war stories and might even bang on a drum or two for just a second,
For a minute.
and then demonstrate. Show a little bit of this opera.
So, you're showing an opera that actually is.
Well, we've got some of the singers down there, and a couple of players will do a couple of the arias. That's what a song in an opera is called, an aria. But I'm actually on the mic as well, doing some of the parts just to get them through the scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't see that every day, fortunately.
What?
Me on the mic singing.
Yeah. That would be worth seeing.
Mind you, let me share this with any drummer listeners you got out there.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, all you drummers out there next rehearsal, check out the guitarist, all right? How many times did he change his T-shirt in a rehearsal? Probably not even once. Drummer gets through 2 or 3 T-shirts in a day of rehearsal. Those other guys, the bass player, the keyboard player, they're not hardly working. They get paid the same amount. They hardly even break a sweat.
It's a tough life being a drummer.
And I'm talking to a guitarist, right? He's smirking. He's on the microphone smirking, saying, "Oh yeah,
So you're
finally cottoned on, have you?"
you're at the back.
Yeah, we're at the back. We're looking at the back of
You're
everyone else's
sweating
head.
your bollocks off,
Working, chopping wood.
chopping wood, and no one cares.
That's right. And the other guys get paid just as much. You can laugh. You can laugh. But now I'm a guitarist too, see?
and
And
then-
I'm now an opera singer. So now I'm laughing.
Oh, you're an opera singer. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's all that gear you got to lug around.
Yeah.
Drum kits
And not
ain't
only
small.
you carry your drum kit, and then the poor guitarist gives you that look. Okay, I'll carry the other end of your Marshall stack.
Yeah.
And then the keyboard player's got to be nice to everybody because that Hammond is
If
heavy.
he's got an Hammond, it's got to go upstairs. Forget it.
He's got to be nice to the bass player. He's even got to be nice to the drummer.
Yeah. Well, he should have called Morris Plackets to get them to deliver it.
Yeah, that's right. I've carried Hammonds up and down a few flights of stairs,
Yeah.
in and out of clubs.
Do you have tinnitus?
No, I don't. Thankfully, strangely, a lot of classical musicians do.
From what?
And I've been banging on those drums, and I've had Andy Summers on
Yeah.
my left, and I've been spared from the tinnitus. How about yourself?
I do have it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I do have it, and I don't know why, because I don't play music anymore.
Apparently, that actually isn't what it comes from. It's my wife has it, and she totally doesn't play music.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I put it down to riding a motorbike. Maybe the wind
Maybe.
gets in your ears.
Maybe.
That's,
Nobody knows. Nobody even knows whether it's a problem with your eardrum, a problem with your brain. Latest thinking is that it's a problem with your brain.
Oh, no.
And that your brain is misinterpreting the signals that come from your auditory sensory system. That's, since my wife suffers, it does kind of ruin her day a bit. So
It
we
is
both
a
thought
drag.
about it. Yeah.
And when you notice it, when you're at home, when it's quiet,
Yeah.
like when you're in bed, that's when I
when it drives
really
you
hear
nuts.
it.
Yeah.
I have it tonight.
But here's the weird thing: is my wife can hear way better. Her hearing.
Yeah.
If I sneak in
I'm the
late,
same.
man, I will wake her. She will hear. If I rustle, she will hear it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I have really good ears.
Yeah.
I can hear everything. It drives me nuts at home because if I hear a dog barking like
Yeah.
2 blocks down, I start focusing and I want to go out and kill the dog.
I wonder if that's something to do with having your hearing is too good.
I don't know.
I've got a layer about a half an inch layer of bone encasing my brain. It takes a lot to penetrate. So maybe that's why I don't suffer from tinnitus.
This is a question. You're a very intelligent man. Maybe you can answer this. We were talking about yesterday head sizes. Does your skull get bigger the older you get? I think my head's gotten bigger since when I was 20.
Huh. I don't know if it grows. I don't know. Because the head, with a baby, the head's almost full size and the rest of the body grows into it.
You mean this head came out at this big when I was
Well,
born?
it collapsed. It's collapsed. The human skull, when in a new baby, I've had 7 of them.
Yeah.
I'm somewhat of an authority on babies, and now I have 3 grandchildren. The skull collapses
To get out.
and it comes out kind of bullet shaped, kind of like Alien. Then as soon as it's out, it kind of opens up, and that's why a baby's head is sort of, there's a mushy part in the middle.
So is that why some heads are bigger than others? Because some people's
They
heads
grow
are
up
massive.
more. Yeah. Oh, I got an egg head. I got a long head. I can't wear hats. You know those cool baseball caps that people can wear sideways?
Yeah.
I can't wear a baseball cap sideways. My head's the shape of a banana.
But you really want to wear a baseball cap sideways?
Well,
You'd
yes,
like to have the
yes,
option. You'd like
yes.
to have the option.
I have always kind of secretly wanted to wear my baseball cap sideways.
You should get a hat maker to make you one.
That kind of, yeah, I guess you could get
You
your
could do that.
bespoke baseball
Yeah.
cap.
From Savile Road.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Get the babies head first.
Okay, we're going to play the Babies head
All right,
first.
babies, head
Stewart
first.
Copeland, Jonesy's Jukebox, Cal OS.